everything that exists today was once considered impossible. And this is a huge point because if you look back in history and you think about the internet, how real estate works, phones, FaceTime, anything like that, all at one point seemed like magic or impossible. And understanding that someone lived in an age that believed in that impossibility and brought that reality to life is something you can take and look into the future. Think about all the things that people consider impossible today and understand that there's a specific mindset that creates visionaries and entrepreneurs who build the impossible and make it real. And they all share one thing in common: elastic idealism. There's two parts to it. The first part is an idealistic view and an unrelenting belief that they can bring this impossibility to life. And by being elastic and being adaptable, their heads aren't just up in the sky in the clouds and thinking, oh, I can change the world, and not actually do anything about it, or be stubborn in a way that it has to work out their way. It's an idealism in a way where no matter what challenges or obstacles that come in their way, they're willing to maneuver and become better and learn and grow from that idea to make it a reality. And Apple says this in a really good way. It's the people who are crazy enough to believe that they can change the world are the ones who do. Because we're in a time where trying to think outside of the box and trying something new is often looked down upon instead of encouraged. And if you're one of those people who are trying to figure something out and looking at it in different angles, and maybe people are looking down at you or talking like you're crazy, know that that's the definition of becoming elastically ideal. Because by definition, you are not thinking in the same way that others perceive the world. You're seeing something that does not exist yet and paving a path and trailblazing your way to that outcome. If you look back and think about the idea of something as simple as FaceTime today, when you look back at it, it's a place to talk to someone and see their face and live reactions from across the world. And that sounds so obviously understood today, but think about it in a time where letters were being sent and you wouldn't be able to hear back for weeks. Where now you can literally talk and see and interact with someone hundreds, thousands of miles away, just like that. And nobody thinks about how it came to be. So again, taking that same framework and understanding that it took someone to imagine that unrealistic vision, and it was created in an environment of adaptability of, okay, this is what will happen because I know we can create it. Now, what are the obstacles in our way that's stopping us, and how are we going to go about reaching that goal? Because any goal, given enough time and effort, is achievable. No matter how impossible the goal is, it's always achievable. It's how will you go about solving that goal, and how will you figure out the path to that reality. Now, there comes a balance in this elastic idealism, where being too idealistic without a base of understanding of how the world works and the resilience to constantly adapt to what's needed for the situation and for the moment, that becomes someone who is unrealistically believing in themselves or in their mission. And they become just, again, stuck in the clouds, and they never execute. And on the other end of that scale is someone who's true pragmatic, someone who believes what exists and questions what does not yet exist. And with that mentality, you can never think outside of the box, and you will never create something genuine and unique and different. Now, finding the balance of where imagination and creativity meet execution and follow through is the golden standard that, to be honest, all entrepreneurs are aiming to be at. And it just doesn't just happen in one day. If your goal on day one and the execution of that goal is the same as it is on day 1000, then something's wrong, because you're not taking into account reality and how you can adapt to the situations at hand. Now, this might be just going over a lot of you guys' heads, but for those who understand what I'm talking about, it's truly a matter of understanding you can make anything you believe happen as long as you take the sacrifices and put the time and effort towards that thing. And everything has its own timeline that we can't see and we can't predict, but it's there. So if you're chasing an unrealistic reality, don't be discouraged by failure. Let it empower you and build you, because through failure, fulfillment is achieved. Through failure, you understand the value of what you're building. Through failure, you understand how to succeed, because failure is not a step back. Failure is the mapping out of what the road ahead looks like. And I don't need to go into why adaptability and elasticity is a strength, because humans instinctively were built to be adaptable, to change and to adapt to their environment and adapt to their environment. I mean, both work, adopt and adapt. But at the end of the day, it's those who adapt to their environment and adapt to the feedback that life and experiences give them, along with having that pursuit of a dream or a vision that they know they can realize if they just put in the work and execute. So at the end of the day, the true power comes from having a goal and a vision that leads you, and having the discipline and the consistency to put the time and effort required to reach that goal, and understanding that inevitably there will be obstacles and hurdles on your path, but it's not about if you can surpass them, it's about how you can surpass them. That's all I got for you guys today. If this hit, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Peace.